Facebook banned Alex Jones. It's officially trending Alex Jones Day, so of course I'm going to start the videos by bringing this up because you may have missed it or maybe you didn't. But this story today is about Facebook trying to get financial information about you. So I was thinking, with all this stuff that happened, that, man, the floodgates sure opened up this past couple days with fake news, with this information about Facebook, with Alex Jones being banned. And I think I'm going to do more research into this for my video tomorrow. My main channel video tomorrow at 4 p.m. is going to look at this. Wow, the floodgates burst open with craziness, like, you know, Candace Owens getting attacked, news companies collapsing, Jones being banned. But today we're going to focus on Facebook and why Facebook is slimy. And I tweeted something out. I said, things are bad. They're getting worse. The train is headed towards the cliff, and we all know it. I believe that is 100% true. I believe that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what tribe you are in, no matter what you watch on TV, you know we are not headed anywhere good. Period. You know, regardless of the whole Nazi, communist, ridiculous bickering, the Patriot Prayer versus Antifa stuff, when we see a story like this, Facebook to banks, give us your data, we'll give you our users. That's when it's something says to me like, we know that Facebook crosses the line. We know that big media companies, these big social media companies have all of our data. We know they've done unethical things with this. One of the things people don't realize, there's a thing called shadow profiles. And it's been a while since I've done a video about this. I don't have all the facts pulled up, but basically Facebook has information about you that you didn't give it because they get it from other places. But one thing I always try to tell people, you might not actually be on Facebook, like you might never sign up, but they'll still have your information. Why? When you download the Facebook app for your Android phone, they ask you to access your contact list. They then save that contact list. Let's say you are not on Facebook, but your mother is, your brother is, and your sister is, and your best friend is. And they all have you in their phone book on their phone. They all download the app, and then let's say your name is John or Jane Doe. Well, now Facebook sees this one phone number from multiple people with the name John Doe, and they say, this is John Doe's phone number. We've corroborated between these 4 different users. Now they have your name, now they have your email, they have your photo, they have various photos of you, and you never even signed up. And what's scary about this is that Facebook is getting your information without your permission because third parties are giving information to them. So I asked this question a while ago. I don't know whether or not Facebook has the right to request third-party information from someone. Like, if you say you want my phone book on my phone, you've got to get permission from the person who owns that phone number if you want their phone, apparently. You know, because I wonder if this violates, like, two-party consent states, right? In some states, all parties to a conversation have to agree to have their information recorded, or their conversation recorded. I wonder how that plays up then if I went up to you and said, give me that person's information because they trusted you with it. If I trust you with my phone number, I never told you to give it to Facebook, but Facebook's asking for it, you give it to them. So let's read about Facebook going to the banks. Facebook has asked large U.S. banks to share detailed financial information about customers as it seeks to boost user engagement. The social media giant has asked large U.S. banks to share detailed financial information about their customers, including card transactions and checking account balances, as part of an effort to offer new services to users. Holy shit. I don't know if, we'll read on, we'll get to, you know, because right now I don't know if the banks actually agree to this, but I have to wonder, if someone's buying advertisements, like if I want to advertise a screwdriver on Facebook, and Facebook knows that you have no money, are they going to avoid showing you merchandise ads because they know you can't pay for it, thus giving me, the advertiser, better access? It's really, man, this train's headed off the cliff. You know, Facebook already has all your information. Now they want your banking information. And I got to be honest, I bet Facebook could figure out a general amount of money you have just because of what you're doing. Like if you're on Facebook and you're like, hey, went to the bar tonight, and they can calculate how many times you said bar. They're like, well, this person goes to a bar a lot. They probably drink a lot of alcohol. They probably got some money on them. Facebook increasingly wants to be a platform where people can buy and sell goods and services besides connecting with friends. The company over the past year asked JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, US Bank Corp to discuss potential offerings it could host for bank customers on Facebook Messenger, said people familiar with the matter. Facebook has talked about a feature that would show its users their checking account balances, that the people said. It has also pitched fraud alerts, some of the people said. Hopefully, whatever happens, you have to give Facebook permission before they can get access to your checking account information. Dude, I don't want Facebook. Wow. Think about this. They literally are going to have their pinky in every aspect of your life. At one point, Facebook existed so you could post pictures of your dog and talk to some friends from high school. Now they're getting into all this really, they got video, the content. Now they want your checking account information. Data privacy is a sticking point in the bank's conversation with Facebook. According to people familiar with the matter, the talks are taking place as Facebook faces several investigations over its ties to political analytics firm Cambridge Analytica, which access data on as many as 87 million users without their consent. Let's think about this. Facebook comes to you and says, we want to be able to show you your bank account information so you can buy things instantly and transfer money between Facebook users. Very convenient for you, right? Right. Then what they're going to do is, with all that data they have on everyone's financial history, sell it to advertisers, sell it to data companies. And then when it comes to politics, and big data firms want to mine data so they know who to target, what areas to target, they know how to do it. They know where to spend, they know how to spend. Think about it this way. Is somebody like, a politician going to try and play up a working class advertisement, a union ad, to an area that's overly wealthy? No. But let's get into the nitty gritty. Some areas are not overly wealthy, but there are some people who are wealthy there. Right now you can target by region, by what people like, and you can kind of, you can surmise as to how much money they have based on what they like, what their activities are. But imagine if a politician or an advertiser could say, we only want to advertise to people who have this amount of money. Imagine when a politician says, why bother with the poor people when we can target the wealthier in the area to, think about the ramifications of something like that. That data being given to Facebook, who's going to sell those ads. One large US bank pulled away from the talks due to privacy concerns, some of the people said. Facebook has told banks that the additional customer information could be used to offer services that might entice users to spend more time on Messenger. A person familiar with the discussion said. The company is trying to deepen user engagement. Investors shaved more than $120 billion from its market value in one day last month after it said user growth is starting to slow. Well, no shit, user growth is starting to grow. They've got something like 2 or 3 billion users across all of their platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. It's also possible there's doubling up, like if you're on all 3 platforms, you might count as 3 users. So let's just go with Facebook's numbers. They got like 1 billion users. There's going to come a point in time when there are no more humans that you can actually put on your platform. That means Facebook will stop growing. And that's a risk for people holding shares who want to see the share value go up. I don't know how it works, but maybe there's dividends or something. You're going to get some money regardless. But they lost a lot of market value. There's controversy after controversy. Tell me right now this is not another controversy. We had Cambridge Analytica, Facebook, privacy scandals. This is the latest. So tell me this is not going to cause another problem for them. If I was holding any Facebook stock, I'd sell it. That's just me. I'm not, by the way. I don't know the rules on financial advice, so it's not a financial advice. I'm not advising anybody to do anything. You do what you want to do. I don't know the rules. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Let's suffice it to say, I don't own any stock. Facebook said it wouldn't use the bank data for ad targeting purposes or share it with third parties. Ooh, we've heard that one before. Here's what they do. They can launder the data, okay? I'm not saying they do this. I mean, it might be to some extent they do, but I don't think necessarily. But they can take the data from one area and say this data is quarantined and can never be used for any ad purposes. But we can analyze that data and make new data from old data, right? So based off of certain numbers that appear in certain places, they can assume certain information. So it's basically like, we know how much money you make. Because of that, we know where you shop. And because of where you shop, we know how much money you make. So this data is quarantined, but based on where you shop, they now have a general idea of your income. So there you go. Now they can make these assessments and these judgments. Look at your bank data and your transaction histories where they can determine what your shopping habits are. And that's going to give them a lot of data. And of course, they're going to claim, oh, no, we're not going to use this for advertising at all. Right, but they'll launder the data, right? That's my opinion. Don't sue me, Facebook. We don't use purchase data from banks or credit card companies for ads, said spokeswoman Elizabeth Diana. We also don't have special relationships, partnerships, or contracts with banks or credit card companies to use their customers' purchase data for ads. Right. But once they have your purchase data, Then they can create a new ad set, something else, say, oh, this is or a new data set. Say, this is a different data set. It's not the same information. I mean, look, if you know how much money someone has, you can't help but know. You can't act like that's not going to play a role in how ads are delivered. It's going to affect things. They can put it this way too. We won't use any of that data for ads. Right, but maybe they'll use it for a certain demographic information, and they'll use the demographic information for ads. I do not trust this one bit. And I gotta say, these big companies, Facebook, it's like Skynet almost. It's this big cyber octopus with its tentacles crawling into everything, and it's not stopping. The train just keeps going, the momentum keeps building up, and even though we all complain about it, even though we know there's problems, we know they're awful, it keeps growing. It keeps getting worse. Maybe the scandals will catch up with them. Maybe they'll collapse, and maybe that'll be the end of it. I have no idea. I'm gonna look, honestly, I barely have a Facebook profile. Seriously. After I got a bunch of attention during Occupy, it became impossible to have a personal account. I just kind of walked away. So I just have a ton of friend requests. I got like 5,000 friends. I talk to some people sometimes. I use Facebook for Messenger kind of, so I'm using Messenger. But Facebook as a platform I don't interact with family, friends, and it's a bunch of random people saying random things, kind of like Twitter. So I'm kind of like half using it. It's hard to say you can't use it though because everyone's on it. It's hard to say you should walk away. But it seems like a lot of people are leaving Facebook. And I gotta say, I personally hope that there comes a point where scandals like this, Facebook's continually trying to just slither into every aspect of our lives, and hopefully it reaches a point where people say, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm not going to be involved. But anyway, I don't know. I'll be honest. I got a headache, and I think I'm about wrapped on this. It's been, I literally just landed from Portland, and it was a ridiculous trip, flying like 2 connecting flights, and then I had to like rent a car to drive up because it's actually cheaper to do it that way. And as I mentioned, media's dying, so it's not like I've got $1 million to spend on a private plane from Portland to here. I got to do the boo-boo flights that are expensive and take a long time and leave me with migraines. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I know most of you don't like Facebook because I think most people don't like Facebook. So anyway, shoot me a comment. I'm going to get out of here, relax a little bit. But I'll be up tomorrow, and I'll have another video up at 4 p.m. on my main channel, youtube.com/Timcast. See you all then.